The good news coming out of the Statistical Institute of Belize is that the economy improved by 13.5% in the second quarter of 2022. Data shows that between the months of April and June of this year, the value of goods and services produced locally was $1.315 billion, up by $156.9 million when compared to the same period in 2021. This growth, according to statistician Christopher Hulse, was as a result of a boost in tertiary and secondary sectors.
Across the three sectors for the annual, we see primary growth at 22.4%, secondary growth at 11.5%, and tertiary at 13.9%. GDP is spread across the three sectors, and this is how those sectors contributed to that GDP. So, the tertiary sector continues to be the largest part of our GDP, or the biggest contributor. So if you see tertiary sector here, it's basically around 60 to 62% of our GDP is from the services, right? Primary is 7.8%, secondary is 16%, and tax to the GDP is 13.7%. So overall, we said that the GDP was 1.32 billion. So that means out of that 1.32 billion, tertiary contributed $821.6 million for that. So that's where we get the 62% from. Secondary, 212.3 million. Primary, 101.3 million. And then taxes at $180.6 million.
Between January and August of this year, the inflation rate is up significantly. Consumer prices went up by 7.4% in August, primarily in prices of fuel, food, LPG, and restaurant services. When comparing 2021 and 2022 figures, premium gas saw a 50% increase, followed by the cost of food products such as vegetable oil, watermelon, potatoes, and pigtail. Orange Walk experienced the highest cumulative inflation rate of 8.7%, while Belmopan experiencing the lowest inflation rate at 4.8% between January and August. In breaking down the consumer price index, statistician Melvin Perez says that the increasing trend began in November 2020.
Prices started to increase since February up to August of 2022. These increases were a combination of higher prices for food, butane, and fuel. Looking at the same period in the year of 2021, we can also see how prices increased throughout these months, but they were not high enough to offset the increases in the year of 2021, which is why when we compare both periods, a cumulative inflation rate of 6% was reported. Looking at the trend line, it is clearly showing us how prices has been moving throughout the years, specifically starting from November of 2020, where prices started to increase heavily up to August of 2022.
As it relates to trade, imports were up by 20.8% and domestic exports were down by 44.5%.
For the period of January to August of this year, Belize imported goods valuing $1.77 billion. This was a significant growth of 34.8% or $456.3 million, as imports increased in most commodity categories when compared to imports of the same period of last year.
Duane Moody for News 5.